insane. And then March Madness ends, you have your champion, and then you hit NBA playoffs, and you have all the NBA drama that goes on there. And then right when the NBA playoff hits, you all of a sudden start pulling back into the March Madness history, and you go, okay, this is what this person did in March Madness. This is what this team did in the NBA playoffs. Now, how can we mix those two together? Oh, you have all the leaks and mocks before NBA draft. And this is the time of year, right before the draft. These next 3 days, you're going to see careers made, careers ruined, promises that are real lies. Because I love this time of year. But right before the NBA and NFL draft, you always see so-and-so has promised by a team that he'll be picked by number whatever. And that's why there are times where, especially in the NBA now with their new rules where you're allowed to pull out of the draft if you haven't signed a agent and go back to college. You see players all of a sudden stick around, and you're like, you're not even a first-round pick in most people's opinion. But they were promised they're going to go in the low 20s, and here they are. I love it. I absolutely love this time of year, because this is what everything is created on. Lies, deception, excitement, and sheer thrill and love of the game. And this is what it's all about. This is what sports to me is. Excitement, entertainment, and mystery. And we have so much of that right now.
You know what I find is amazing? That so many people get paid for mock drafts or just making mock drafts their whole life, and they could be so wrong.
Yeah, well, but they're not making much money off of those, believe me.
No, but I mean, like, you see all these analysis people that are like, okay, new
Analysts.
mock draft is up. Analysts. I couldn't get the word. Thank you.
Well, I've seen
last week with the dictionary.
I've seen Mel Kiper's biggest mistakes in NFL draft. One of them was Jimmy Clausen. Now, if anyone remembers Jimmy Clausen was a quarterback who went to Notre Dame.
Yes.
And Mel Kiper said Jimmy Clausen was going to be like
Can't miss. He's going to be.
Kiper loved him.
He was going to be the next Montana.
Yeah.
Next Namath.
I swear they locked that guy in the closet until the
they do.
The NFL draft time comes around, and then they let
Mel
him out.
Kiper Jr. goes into. He has a little off time period right after the draft.
Yeah,
he puts
He's
out a
probably back to
next
work
year. He puts out a next year, and then June, July he shuts off because he's already watched spring camp, and then he comes back out around August time, and he just starts pumping out new stuff. But yeah, they lock him in a closet for 10 months of the year. But he has been so wrong at certain times. But then again, so is everyone.
No,
there are
that's
always
what I'm
times.
saying. Like these people, like that. Everybody, just like all of us, fans of the game, are like, "Oh, who's my team going to take? Who are the Giants going to take? Who are the Jets going to take?" And then they're like, by the beginning, you're like, "Okay, yeah, I like this idea. It runs." And then by the end of it, you're like, it's a completely different person. That at the first one, you didn't even hear about this other person.
Well, what's it called? As you know, I don't want to go back too far, but you have Baker Mayfield, who
he was supposed to be late first round almost.
Not even late first round. Last year, Mel Kiper Jr. at his first beginning of the season predictions, he had Baker Mayfield as a second or third round pick.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden,
overall 1-1.
Yeah, and then Baker goes 1-1. So we never know. We never know, and we have. Here's a great example.
That's why I don't listen until like the last 2 days before a draft, because that's when you're gonna get the real kind of nitty gritty, real facts about different people and what's actually happening and what teams are talking about.
The first pick of the 2011 NBA draft, 2011, NBA draft was
2011.
2011 NBA draft. Played 11 games in college.
Talking 7 years ago, 2011. I couldn't even tell you.
He's an NBA champion. He's a guard from New Jersey, 6'3", best handles in the NBA. Has the same last name as Dr. J.
What, Kyrie Irving? Well, it's not the same. It's the same pronunciation.
It's the same pronunciation.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving.
That's true.
Okay?
A Duke guy.
The last pick of that same draft, Mr.
Wasn't that
irrelevant?
Well, I don't
said Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yes. Who they wound up being traded for each other.
Yes. But like you see, Isaiah Thomas actually at one point was predicted to not even get drafted.
Yeah.
And then he literally, by the skin and teeth, snuck into the NBA draft, and look what he's done now. So we always have, and we always see that there are times where players should be picked in certain situations, or players that aren't picked at all, and then they make the best of it. And sometimes you end up with a I don't know, Anthony Bennett or Jamarcus Russell or Kwame Brown or Greg Oden.
Yeah, history is filled with guys like that. As many, there's probably more of those only because so much attention is paid to them than there are guys like Tom Brady, who went from the 6th round to obviously being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But the busts are a lot of what people remember because so much is invested in that guy. Ryan Leaf. He was supposed to be the future for the San Diego Chargers.
Well, now he's the future for the San Quentin Chargers.
Well, yeah, but guys like that, like you said, Jamarcus Russell, same thing. Greg Oden wasn't as much because he was such a bad player as it was because he was injured and he couldn't play.
Oh, by the way, Kwame Brown, for all the flack that we give him, has NBA championship, or has been to an NBA championship, or has some success. He was not as big of a bust as everyone made him out to be.
Well, how much of that was his fault? I mean, you can get a ring by sitting on a bench.
No, I know. Like Adam Morrison has 2 rings.
Exactly.
But he did, for being a bust, he still had a very long, serviceable career. Yeah. But Kwame Brown, most notably, is Michael Jordan's first, and not the last, horrible pick of his somewhat tenure as something.
Yes, as an executive.
As an executive.
Let's just call him executive.
Whatever you want to call him. And his other notable career highlight, in my opinion, which is my favorite, probably one of my favorite rants of all time, is the Stephen A. Smith Kwame Brown trade rant. If you have not seen that, I advise you to go on YouTube and look up Stephen A. Smith Kwame Brown rant. You will cry, you will laugh, you will love. It's everything you need in life in one video. It's absolutely amazing.
Rants are fun when they're on the radio.
And back then, it wasn't even a radio rant with Stephen A. Smith. You get to see.
Oh, it was on TV?
It was a TV. This is from like 2007. This was when the Pau Gasol trade happened.
Yeah.
So you get to see Stephen A. Smith, or a younger Stephen A. Smith. This is 10, 11 years ago. A younger Stephen A. Smith just go ape on this trade, and you see the blood vessels in his neck popping. Then again, Stephen A. Smith's blood vessels pop, just when he hears anything sports related.
Well, here's the name Max Kellerman. His blood vessels pop.
When he hears the word LeBron James, his heart starts beating out of his chest. Yeah. That's a different story. But it's so crazy. Now, seriously, everyone, I highly advise you, no matter where you are, after the show, just type it in, watch it. It's worth it. It's amazing. It's hysterical. Okay? Now let's get down to business. Oh, man. Rumors, lies, leaks. Who knows? Who knows what's real? Who knows what isn't? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm so caught up in all this lies, and his camp said this, but he hasn't said it, so we don't know if it's true or not. What's going on? Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio. Now, for anyone who's tuning in, or for anyone who listens all the time, Kawhi Leonard is the half-cousin of Rob and Tim Leonard. Their cousin Leonard.
Yes. Cousin Kawhi, as we like to call him on the show.
Cousin Kawhi. That's why Tim Leonard, a former Knick fan who jumped off the team 2 years ago, jumped onto Cousin Kawhi's team, the San Antonio Spurs. Now,
that was also because of the Charles Oakley incident. That was my last straw as a Knicks fan.
Now, your cousin is on his way out of San Antonio. He wants out.
He's out.
He wants out.
Which I don't understand, by the way. San Antonio Spurs, there aren't many better situations in the NBA than San Antonio
Supposedly
Spurs.
What's going on over there is Kawhi, who just wants out of San Antonio. He's a little upset with how they treated his injury. He hasn't officially himself said, or like in his heart, that he wants out, but his camp, and I love this in sports, his camp said this, her camp said that, their camp wants him to go here, their camp who in the hell is their camp? I would love for once.
It's Tim, obviously.
There's a lot of camping. There's a lot of camping. There's a lot of camping in the NBA.
I'd love for once their camp, in air quotes, to come out and have a face and a name. Never. And say straight to the media.
Never.
There's only one player who actually who everyone in the NBA knows who their camp is.
Yeah, LeBron.
No. Forget about LeBron.
Well, everybody knows his camp. They all work for him.
Lonzo Ball.
Well,
LeVar is his camp, and LeVar is very open about it.
He's so obnoxious.
I want. Look, Kawhi wants out. Kawhi's team wants him in L.A.
For reasons that make a lot of sense.
It makes sense. Kawhi is from California. He's from California.
And play to San Diego State.
So it makes sense for him to want to go home. And, for everything that Stephen A. Smith had, went on a 10-minute rant today how California is, even though he's a New Yorker, California is the greatest place on earth. So if everything they say is true, and California is the greatest place on earth, I'd get it. I understand it. But Kawhi, until this season, until that injury, we had never seen Kawhi get angry or upset or actually say more than 4 words.
I was going to say, or speak.
Never really seen him say more than 4 words, and we still haven't seen him say more than 4 words. Mm-hmm. But his camp, in air quotes, they're talking, and they won't shut up. But why now? Why 2 days before the draft? Why 3 days before the draft? Are they trying to shake things up? Trying to take bring the attention back to them? Because right now you have LeBron James and his impending free agency. Where's he going to go? You have Chris Paul and his impending free agency, and they're saying, because of the NBA playoffs, the news on us kind of died down, or the news on him kind of died down. So let's shake it up a little bit. We don't know what's going on. His camp wants him to go to L.A. Is that a possibility? In my opinion, absolutely not. Because of another possible L.A. situation that I heard of.
And what's that? Because we're going to disagree. But go ahead.
It's definitely far-fetched. I was talking with someone at work yesterday, and they mentioned a possible banana boat reunion in Los Angeles. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what the banana boat reunion is, a couple of years ago, on vacation, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony, or as I like to call them, the Core 4, the OG Core 4, decided they were going to go chill, have a vacation, and they ended up going out on a banana boat. And they sent a picture of them on a yacht with wine. They were dubbed Banana Boat Crew. Now, ever since then, they've been saying, people have been saying, they want to get together, they want to play together, how is this going to happen? Right now, it makes the most sense, and at the same time, the least amount of sense. 3 of them are free agents. Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James. LeBron James is the only one of them that actually, LeBron James has a player option. So does Carmelo Anthony. LeBron James will most likely decline his. Carmelo Anthony would probably be the stupidest man on the earth if he declined his.
Yeah.
If Carmelo Anthony, and he's the only hitch in this banana boat team up. If Carmelo Anthony declines his almost $28 million option and leaves Oklahoma City, Sam Presti, Billy Donovan, and Russell Westbrook will probably pop champagne like they just won the NBA Finals.
Absolutely.
And Paul George will be signed to OKC.
And Paul George will have a more inclination to resign because he'll have more cap space to bring him in.
Yeah.
But if Carmelo Anthony is that stupid and he declines that player option, it actually, for once, since he joined the Knicks, shows me as a sports fan that he wants to win. Because ever since he joined the Knicks, to me, it has not been about him winning. It's about him having the center spot, the center stage spotlight, and making money. Mm-hmm. If he accepts this player option, yes, it's clearly about money. He doesn't care about winning anymore, it seems. But if he declines that player option, wow. Does Carmelo Anthony actually, think with his mind for once and not, makes a reasonable decision and say, I have a college title, which he clearly deserved. He carried Jim Boeheim to that title in 2003 Syracuse, right after Tim Leonard's 2002 Maryland team.
It's a good year.
And their last good one, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, technically, except for a Jake Layman, Romello Trimble team. But, Carmelo Anthony, if he declines this option, and that is probably the biggest factor because it doesn't look like he would, but if he declines it, I would not be surprised, or if we see Carmelo decline his option, it means that he's going to L.A. and that all 4 of them are going to L.A. That is my most likely situation for L.A. to get a big team. I don't see L.A. getting Kawhi Leonard because I don't see the pieces that they will ship out to San Antonio and San Antonio actually wanting to bring all of that in.
Now I have a question.
Well-
It has to do with more LeBron James. When is it that he has to accept his player option or decline it?